Well, good afternoon or good evening, folks, as the case may be. Welcome to another Gab Fest with yours truly.
Hello.
And my good friend, Dwayne Weiss. And we're here to educate you, amuse you, entertain you.
Irritate you?
Irritate you.
Frustrate you?
You name it, we'll do it. Run the gamut of emotions. But in reviewing the week of the news, I'm afraid I'm probably more irritated than anything else, Dwayne.
Okay. There's been a lot of stuff that would irritate you this couple of weeks.
Yes. The new city council president in Boston, Andrea Campbell.
I saw that.
Andrea. Big headlines in the Herald. It's time to talk to the gangs.
Yeah. We've been talking to those gangs for a long time.
Yeah. MS-13. Now, they're all registered in the social register, so you can just look there and get their phone numbers and call them up and invite them to a meeting. Yeah. Oh, they'll come in.
Did you see today's paper, though? Lemming says that they're done. The U.S. Marshal.
Really?
Or U.S. Attorney.
Oh, yeah.
They're practically wiped out. I mean, there's no...
He's talked some mighty strong language.
Yeah, he did.
And I'm mighty proud of the lad.
I am, too. They didn't wuss you around with it. But I don't think that you can eradicate MS-13 like that. They've just got too many tentacles, and they're too big.
You can drive them underground over here, but they're going to come up over here.
I think they just went to the mattresses, as the old mafia people
As the old mafia would say, I think you're absolutely right. But she's calling for peace among warring gangs. And she wants to sit down and talk to them about it.
We have seen that show before, Bill.
Yes, we sure have.
And with Menino and some of the others before, and they would have these, I don't remember, the 18th Street gang and some other housing gang.
The Blood, the Crips, and whatever.
Even before there was local, they'd had this peace treaty, and the thing would last anywhere from a day to a couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden one would shoot the other one, bang, and it would just blow up again.
Look, you can talk all you want. Smash them and put them in jail, then talk to them.
You're not going to talk to them.
Nope. And this is naivete, I'm afraid. Well, your friends at Harvard have got another problem.
What now?
The single-sex fraternities and sororities are suing Harvard.
I saw that. That's right.
Isn't that nice? Mm-hmm. Now, and of course these people say, well, these single-sex deals, the males, they're misogynistic, and the women, it holds the women back. It doesn't allow them to strive for greatness or whatever.
Yeah,
now, I'll be the first to admit that the male clubs, I guess they are, you form bonds.
Oh, yeah.
That help you later on in business. Women getting shut out of that give and take in chatter and learning are at a disadvantage.
Yeah, if you look at the membership in those clubs, some of the male ones, like you just said, you got former presidents that belong to the Kennedys and all of them, and they all belong to these. There's one called Bones and something or other.
Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones, that's it. And these things go back.
Skull and Bones, I think that's down at Yale.
Is it? But it's that kind of an organization.
That idea, And these secret societies and blah, blah, blah. I feel that the women don't get to male bond with the males. And kind of get left behind a little bit, or maybe a little bit more than a little bit. But when you label the male clubs as the ones that produce all the rapists.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I wouldn't be too fond about bringing women into that group.
No.
If that is what they really and truly feel.
Right. What woman would want to join an organization like that?
Well, guys join it, but they are drafted into it. It's like, oh, Dwayne, you want to join? Sorry.
Yeah, right.
You don't quite measure up to what we want. But you over there, oh, your dad went to Harvard and he graduated, and your uncle, so come on in. It's that kind of a deal.
Oh, yeah. A lot of Harvards that way, not just the clubs.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Money talks at Harvard. Well, your old friend, President Macron in France.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Well,
He's got himself a handful.
yes, he does. His approval rating now is down in the teens.
Okay.
And he did something very stupid, raising taxes on gasoline and all to fund other programs. Well, they've rioted in Paris. Remember that? Is Paris burning?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's burning now. And then he gives up and says, oh, gee whiz, I wish you'd stop rioting. I'll take those taxes away and I'll put some more money in the pot for you guys.
He just conceded the whole thing.
Lost it all.
And
is going to lose out.
Yep.
He's going to be tossed out of office. And it's the same deal in Germany. Angela Merkel has been replaced as party head of her party, and that is tantamount to her leaving. And Theresa May, I don't think is going to survive this Brexit deal.
I don't either. I think that's going to be her downfall.
Yep. I think, one way or another, I think it'll be. Even if she pulls the fat out of the fire, I think she's still going to be a goner because both sides now are reluctant to support her. But these are the worst riots, in a decade in France.
Yeah, and they're prone to that kind of activity. If the farmers don't get the price of milk, the next thing they know, they're blocking the roads and burning hay bales and tipping cars over.
Yeah. And if you look at Great Britain, and you look at France, and you look at Germany, what is the common denominator? Problems with immigration.
Oh, yeah.
They are snowed under by immigrants, and they can't see straight. This whole thing, Angela Merkel will go down in history as one of the women that perhaps in, a decade or two from now, you can say she was the cause of the collapse of the EU.
She lit the fuse of this whole problem.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When she said, come on in,
Yep.
we'll give you housing, we'll give you food, we'll give you medical care, and we'll give you a monthly stipend in cash. Well,
Until you get your feet on the ground.
That was like, stand back, guard the gate, Gatey, here they come.
Christmas in the springtime. Yeah. Big mistake. Boy, oh boy. Now, I shall ask you a question, sir.
Go ahead. I probably don't have an answer, but you can ask anyway.
The Globe wrote quite a story after the election, sort of an editorial.
That's all they write. What they claim is news is just an editorial.
Well, yeah. Baker promises more of same. After resounding win, Governor looks at climate change and opioid crisis. That's what he's going to look at for a second term.
Okay, well.
I jotted a few notes here of things that I probably would like to see moved ahead of those two subjects.
Oh, my God.
Vehicular traffic in and around Boston, which for 6 or 8 hours a day causes gridlock.
Found that out firsthand this year, going back and forth from here to Tufts.
The Boston school system. along with others in the state that cry out for reform.
Yep.
I mean, they brought Tommy Chang in from the West Coast, and they had to find a minority.
Yep.
All right, he looked like the best of the bunch. Bring him in. He didn't know his arm from his elbow.
Yep.
So they pay him $300,000 to
that's-
resign.
Yeah, that's right. And this, who's in there now? Still that interim woman?
Yes.
I forgot what her name
Yeah.
was. But
She's
wait and see. They're going to appoint some political appointee hack, like Boston always, what Massachusetts has a tendency to do. The MBTA, the Massport, no matter what it is, they end up with some has-been politician that's got some kind of political connection, give them the job, no experience, and then they wonder why they fail.
yeah, yeah. I'm surprised they haven't gone looking for John Kerry.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
John, we'll pay you $800,000 a year to come in and do this. And
And the Boston school system, there are some idiosyncrasies there that you could say, what? They have got a deal where if they don't want a teacher in a certain school because she's or he is inefficient and no longer a good teacher or not a good teacher, they can't get rid of them. They got to have this pool where this teacher sits over there and doesn't do anything all day but read books and do crossword puzzles, still pay them, and keep them as a separate pool.
if she falls, or he,
Yeah.
falls below the level of acceptable performance, she goes, or he goes, into a pool.
Yeah.
And when schools need teachers desperately,
Yeah, instead of getting
they
a
reach into that
pool and pull
Yeah.
one of them out.
And if no one reaches in and grabs them, they sit there and collect their paychecks. The
Yeah,
union
exactly.
protects
That's
them.
all they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Well, you know, they got that, the United Auto Workers had part of their contract years ago already.
Yeah.
They got a pool where seniors, in the senior status, they would go, like at Lordstown there in Ohio, they had a room where they'd go and they'd play cards and they'd smoke cigarettes and drink coffee and read books. That's in case somebody didn't show up for their shift. Then they go in and they'd substitute. But there were days, weeks, and sometimes months they didn't do a thing. I mean, what a job.
Yeah, you know what else kills me about the UAW out there is when they're laid off. Well, that's a big deal. What a disruption to my life to get laid off.
right.
Except they get 95% of their pay. Mm-hmm. I would raise my hand to get laid off all the time.
Absolutely.
Get 95% of my pay? You got to be kidding me. I think it's time too the state started thinking outside of the box.
Yeah.
And I this one is almost impossible. You know, in a perfect world, you could do this, but I don't think you can do it. And that is, the Catholic Church has a bunch of schools that are failing. They're undercapitalized,
Yep, underused.
and also people are falling out of them. If that structure is in place. So how about some state aid to those schools, those parochial schools, which are excellent institutions of learning, and let's prop them up and use them
Yeah.
as private schools, and the kids will be the ones that will benefit from it. But church and state cannot mix.
That's right. Plus, speaking of that, not the church and state, but underutilizing, overutilizing school facilities. Boston's rife with schools that hardly have anybody in them. And then there's another school over here, they're hanging out the windows. They cannot get the idea, take some here, move them here. Because now they're back to the neighborhood schools, which they rioted back in, the
73,
70s?
74, 75.
But they had to desegregate. They had to bus these kids clear across town, and then the people that got bused said, "No, we don't want to do that. We want to go to our neighborhood school."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, what the hell did you go through all that busing for in the first
Well,
place?
because it was whites that made the decisions that this is what
And then
the
with the-
minority community needed to do
Yeah,
was to meld
Garrity?
in.
Judge Garrity. I
Judge
think is-
Garrity.
Yeah, that was.
And Louise Day Hicks is
Oh,
the
yeah,
one that
that's
fought him.
another one. Yep.
Yeah. But they never, I don't think they ever sat down with the minority community and said, how do you people feel about this? They said, no, we know better.
Oh, yeah.
We know better. We know we got to yank you out of those neighborhood schools and put you in with the white kids, and all boats will be raised.
I think
as the tide
Massachusetts
comes
invented
in.
social engineering.
I think you're right.
They are big on that.
Oof. Man up and clean up the state police.
Oh my God! Again today, there's another one.
2 more.
2 more. Was it 2? Yeah. That place is rotten from the top on down.
You know what? Who was it? Was it Demosthenes that was out searching for an honest man with a lantern at
if
night?
you could find
yeah.
one.
I wonder if you could find an honest cop.
Speaking, I don't want to change this. It relates. Last night, we had the lunch yesterday.
Yeah.
Then we went to CVS, went to Ocean State. We're going on the way back up 140 there, we're going to stop at Stop and Shop, go grocery shopping. It's dark. I get the light there where it branches off towards the stadium, North Street or whatever that is. Not North Street, but the backside there.
Yeah, North Street. Yeah.
So this car comes through the light with no lights on. It's darker than hell. And Monica says, "Look at that idiot." I said, "My God." He goes, "You know what it is? He's a state cop in his Explorer. He's driving down the road, no lights on, and it's pitch dark." I said, we both laughed. I said, "Look at this. This is ridiculous."
If you did that,
he'd be stopped. You'd
get a $300 ticket.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's just driving along like he's...
Yeah, and if somebody yells at him, oh, it's an honest mistake. Sorry about that. Yeah. Keep on going.
Or what are you, a smart ass? He'll tell you.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
You want trouble?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll lock your ass up. Yeah. How about that? Yeah. The MBT is a disaster, with any hope being throttled by the unions.
Well,
again,
the current guy that's leaving came in with 0, minus 10, 20 experience. He didn't even have any basic experience.
But he spoke Spanish.
Yeah. That's just about it. Gonzalez or somebody.
We are obsessed with getting the employment in different areas to match the ethnicity of the community.
Regardless
Doesn't
of
matter
qualifications, nothing.
if they know anything about it at all.
And we pay the price.
Look at the school department, look at the MBTA. 15 months. He still didn't know his ass from his elbow.
That's right. The woman before that, she was okay as long as nothing happened. She could say, "Well, all right, guys, Monday we have to have this report in and get this on my desk so I can sign this, and then I'll have a meeting and we'll do this." When that snowstorm came, those big snows, she fell apart. She didn't know how to keep them trains going or what to do.
Well, down in Atlanta, they didn't have snow.
That's right, they didn't. They still, that's chaos down there, yeah.
What else have I got for the governor? Oh, how about this one? I was cleaning up the MBTA. I want him to declare martial law and take over the MBTA.
Okay.
Clean up the Merrimack and other filthy rivers that are dumping crap into the ocean.
Yep.
We're the hub of the universe. We are God's chosen people in Boston, and yet we dump sewerage into major rivers and just let it flush into the ocean untreated. That's great. Just great.
Now they're proposing this runoff proposal. But my God, all these towns are sitting along the Merrimack and along the Charles, they still can't handle the water that's going into the system because stormwater gets mixed in, overrides the sewage water, and they all get dumped.
That's right. Yeah, can't handle it. No. So instead of flooding the sewerage works, they dump it. The homeless. Why doesn't the governor work on the homeless? These poor people, through some of them no fault of their own, they need to be in care homes where they're taken care of.
Yeah.
A lot of them are alcoholics. A lot of them have mental problems.
Drug addicts. I was impressed. I was not impressed. I was really paid attention to this one. when you come out of Tufts, when you come up Nealon Avenue and make a right, get on the Southeast Expressway, it's always jammed right there. There's different roads coming together. And it takes sometimes 10 or 15 minutes to get through that intersection. And there's always one or two homeless.
With the cardboard sign. Yeah.
There was and Monica was along that, and she was shocked, I think. She was speechless. This young lady, who I think if you put some clean clothes on her and cleaned her up, she probably would have been 20, maybe 21, 22. No, older. She's got her sign, and she's going car to car, but she can't hardly stand up. She's what they call it in the heroin addicts is nodding. She'd stand there, and the head would, and she'd kind of wake up again, stumble to the next car. She says, Monica, what's wrong? I said, she's stoned. She says, she's nodding. She's a heroin addict. And she's just going car to car to get enough money to get another fix. She said, oh, that's terrible. I said, of course it's terrible.
But there it is. It's
there's
reality.
no facility to treat her.
That's right, yeah.
And she can't treat herself. She can't even hardly stand up.
That's right. She can't even feed herself. Did you watch Live Cops last night?
Yes, I did. The Wednesday night one.
Did you
I had
see?
to watch in two sections because we had to watch Survivor from 8 to 9.
Dear.
So I picked it up again at midnight.
All right. Did you see the girl in the slacks that they arrested that couldn't stand still?
Oh, my. The meth, she's on meth. Yeah.
Oh,
Everything says, look at the arms and the legs and everything. It's just going.
There is a meth head.
Oh, yeah. And meth, it's very addictive, too.
Yeah, and she cannot stand still.
Yep.
Unbelievable. And people do this. Well, I was going to say people do this willingly to themselves, but after they're hooked, I don't think they do it willingly.
No.
They do it because they have to do it.
I don't. I might be wrong because I've never been to walk down that road, but I don't think there's many heroin addicts or meth addicts that, if given a choice, had a magic pill that they would just make it go away, wouldn't take it.
I think you're right.
I think so. I think anyway.
Yeah. Because I'll tell you what, it just keeps on bringing you down, 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 till you're down the tubes.
That's right.
You'll like this one. Bring back the electric chair for politicians caught in criminal behavior.
Oh, that's one near and dear to my heart. Make that punishment so severe that.
I know a good electrician that I'll pay to go tune up the electric chair to make it still work.
I kind of lean toward the gallows.
Either way.
I guess the end result's the same, isn't it?
Yeah. For politicians, they're a special breed, but they're taking advantage of us. Oh, vote for me and I'll work for you.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, they're down here, they're stealing everything they can grab. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The electric chair's good enough for them. All right, now, I have one last thing for Governor Baker.
Okay.
Announce he will run for president, dust off the Simpson-Bowles report, and fix Social Security and Medicare. Oh, I forgot, that's for old folks. Well, look ahead, you'll be old one day yourself.
Yeah.
But if this were for yuppies, this would have been passed 2 days after Simpson and Bowles filed the report.
That's right.
But it's not. It's for us,
Yep.
the old people. And the attitude today is to hell with the old people.
That's right. Because it doesn't involve me.
That's right.
That's why I can do whatever I
All
want
my
with
kids.
it. Yep.
Yep.
Some of that, like Social Security, that's so easy to fix.
Of course it is. It's mathematics. Good Lord. I'm seeing if I can find something real. Oh, I did. I found it. 2 letters to the editor from the Globe.
Which ones were they? I know I've read them because I read them all.
The elderly, let's dispose of them. Longer life, unintended consequences.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Barbara Skolnick. While I am grateful for many, medical advances, from the polio vaccine to immune-altering drugs, blah, 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 down and on and on. Doctors are doing a great job. However, I find myself reading and rereading the quotation by David Sinclair, biologist and co-founder of Life Biosciences. We want our children to live in a different world than we do, somewhere where people don't get cancer and heart disease in their 60s and 70s. I know that as a scientist, Sinclair appreciates that aging and dying are highly evolutionary, conserved processes experienced by all organisms, and thus must be of great importance. Perhaps these natural processes are intimately linked to allowing new generations to mate and subtly influence the gene pool. Perhaps this natural ebb and flow is a key factor enabling evolution. Is it possible that a world where adults live and flourish into their 90s and 100s might have profound unintended consequences for our planet, our resource, and our vigor as species? In other words, let's not extend the lives of any of the elderly.
You don't know what effect they're going to have down the road.
That's right.
No?
Age 72, off with their heads.
Yep.
This one here, the next one, Liz Durkee, is much blunter and to the point. I am appalled that vast sums of money are being spent to slow aging. We live on an overpopulated planet.
Yeah, that's the key right there, where
Yeah.
she's going to.
Climate change will cause profound impacts on global food and water supplies. Meanwhile, what happens to a 100-year-old who runs out of money? How selfish to place these burdens on society. The money developing these drugs could be better spent addressing the biggest challenge we've ever faced, the massive effects of global warming.
Until, what's her name? First name?
Liz Durkee.
Until Liz contacts cancer or something else, then she's going to say, oh, where are the drugs? Oh, you got to help me.
Yeah, I want to go to Mass General and Children's Hospital and
It's always that
all
way.
at once.
That PETA for years was, they fight any kind of development, medical development that uses animals in research. Would never ever use that. Then you find out that PETA members, when their kids get sick, they want the best drugs available. They don't care how it got developed, because now it's my kid that's going to have to suffer the consequences. All of a sudden, the whole thing changes.
Rosie O'Donnell
Oh, my God.
has 2 kids.
Okay.
Not sure whether they're natural or adopted, but nonetheless, she has 2 kids.
I don't want to guess if they're natural.
And, of course, she's anti-gun.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah. So she has them driven to private school every day by armed guards.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
So the anti-gun people that hire bodyguards and then insist that they be armed. What is the story with that?
I've got to be protected.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh,
You
good
can't be
Lord.
protected, but I got to be protected.
2 stories out of South Sudan. You know, every time
Oh, what a hole.
every time we get criticized for our society here in America, you know, all you have to do is look in the paper.
Yep.
125 women, girls raped and beaten in South Sudan. I don't think we need to go into the details because they're horrible.
They are.
Girls as young as 10.
Yep.
And this huge wave of rape, which is commonplace in South Sudan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've known South Sudan.
And Trump gets criticized for calling these places an S-hole.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
right.
What are you going to call them?
How about this? Child bride auction in South Sudan goes viral.
Yep.
This guy bid 500 cows 2 luxury cars, $10,000, 2 bikes, a boat, and some cell phones up to the final price in a heated bidding war for a child bride. 17 years old. He's 3 times older than her.
Yep.
And she's 17. And he won. And she is now bride number 9 in his harem. Yeah. So, you talk about slavery. I mean, it's alive.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. And this is horrible. And yet, child bride auction in South Sudan goes viral, folks. Have you seen any of our movie stars or singers or late night comedians talking about this? Where is the outrage among the women?
There's no outrage.
No, there's no outrage. It's happening over there. I'm interested in my life here.
Told you, it's only what happens if it affects you.
Oh. All right. A poll of voters that voted in the last election. Fox News did a poll. What is the number one concern in this country?
The economy.
Healthcare.
Healthcare, all right.
So that got me to thinking. I wrote down a few concerns I have. Funding Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. I think that's pretty important.
Of course it is.
The irresponsible media. Single head of household families. In other words, the breakdown of the family unit.
Yeah, that's at the head of a lot of problems. Not just healthcare, but
you know
a lot
what?
of social
That's
problems.
not just one problem.
No,
it's like a hydra. There's many heads to that problem. The loss of our national decency, our national compass. We've lost the quest for excellence. Those, and here's a different subject. Those that attack organized religions in many different fashions. Rampant dishonesty in our everyday lives. Car dealers, for instance. You know, that whole subset of those people. Immigration problems. Politicians, term limits.
Speaking of which.
The lunatic left fringe. National murder rate and crime rate. Homelessness. The plight of the elderly and those are my concerns. Now, I've got to ask you this.
Okay.
Social media. There was a poll about social media, and more than 50% of the people polled said it is hurting democracy. Now, I'm not...
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah? 57% say it hurts society. And I've got some other stuff about social media in here, too. It's kind of interesting. Some of
the
what
media
people
in general,
say.
though, is kind of disgusting.
It is.
It kind of turned my stomach the other day when that poor firefighter that lost his life in Worcester.
Yep.
I can't call his name.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but Channel 4 is horrid with this kind of stuff. They followed the hearse from the time they took him from the medical examiner back to Worcester area, Webster, I guess, or whatever it was. And that's all right. You know, they wanted to show it. It's you could just show it and then be done with it. No, they gotta dig into it. Yeah. They get to where, did you see that where his parents are standing there?
No.
It's, oh my God, they're heartbroken. And the mother is like saying, why? And Channel 4's got to zero in on their agony and their sorrow. And then, you know, like, look at there. She's upset. Da da da. Well, you've got no right as
right.
Channel 4 to impede or anything get into that woman and her husband.
Those people deserve privacy
That's right.
to grieve.
That's not a circus. It's not
That's
something out there.
exactly
It's
right.
not something out there for your entertainment, Channel 4,
the
to make money.
Only thing missing would be one of those feet in the street running up. What are your thoughts
Yeah,
now?
how do you
Mrs.
feel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How do you feel? Yeah.
They do that. Some poor guy gets killed,
Yeah.
and they go up and they knock on his door trying to get somebody to come out. How do you feel that your
Yeah.
son got killed this
And
afternoon?
then the guy slams the door in
Yeah.
the face, and they're,
Channel
he
4,
slammed the door in my face.
that CBS outlet, Channel 4,
Yeah.
should be ashamed of themselves because
Absolutely.
they do that all the time.
Absolutely. And it's pure ignorance.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you realize 1 out of every 9 cars made in the world are made by Nissan Renault? I would
Yeah.
not have guessed that.
Yeah, another big manufacturer that I would not have guessed was Fiat,
Yeah. Yeah.
worldwide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would not have guessed that. Now, here's another thing that so, women were quizzed about men. This is an interesting deal, huh? And the they said to them, what do you find most attractive on a man? What do you think of facial hair? And the results, I can't believe. Number 1, there was 4 in descending order.
Mm-hmm.
The women said they preferred men with a full beard.
Damn it, I cut mine off too.
Second place, the 10-day scruffy.
That seems to be in.
Yeah.
No matter whether it be sports, whether it be somebody on TV or something, they always got that thing that they can't find their razor.
Yeah. I don't understand that. Because back in my dating days, I'd get complaints. Oh, God, why didn't you
scratchy,
shave
yeah.
tonight, you bozo? In third place, the 3-day scruffy.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that because I have a real light beard, and it's you can't hardly see it, but you can feel it.
Yeah. And but we're not in the swinging set
No,
any
no.
longer. And number 4, in fourth place was clean shaven. Go figure. Now,
At least you're not in the bottom. See, I am.
So they said to the women, full beard in first place. Why? Now, just think now of how women see themselves. And I'll tell you what they said.
Okay.
Number 1 reason, it's very manly. Number 2, it's a confident man that does that. Number 3, he's aggressive and positive.
Okay.
Is that what women are looking for?
Not
Because it
according-
seems to me they're all saying, back off,
I
bozo.
was just going to say that's just
Yeah.
totally diabolically
Yeah.
opposed to what they're
Yeah.
looking for today.
That, folks, don't believe any polls.
No.
There's the living example of it.
I grew a beard for a simple reason. I did it a few years ago when it was so cold. It was freezing outside.
You thought it would insulate
I thought
you?
it would be warmer
Yeah.
on my face.
How did that work out?
I kept it for 2 years. After then, I couldn't stand it anymore.
I've never grown one.
No,
Yeah.
and it takes me a long time. It's not like overnight.
Yeah. Pot enforcement here in Massachusetts. Now, heretofore, the police have been told, back off.
Yep.
Don't bother, you know? Oh, a big trafficker, that's one thing. But leave the local dime bag dealer alone, and we don't want to put him in prison, and blah, 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 blah. One guy said, quote, "You watch my words. When the pot shops are all open and everybody is buying from the pot shops, You watch the cops. They're going to be told, come down on the small dealers because the state is getting a 20% tax on the sales
Oh, yeah,
in the
that's it.
legitimate stores, and the state wants that 20%.
Absolutely.
We want to knock the black market out.
Well, yeah, I agree I agree they should knock that black market out.
Yeah.
Because they sell to anybody.
Yeah, and not only that,
You don't know what they're selling.
that's right. That's exactly right.
That could be laced with fentanyl or rat poison. You don't know.
Hey, by the by, you haven't rented an apartment lately, have you? Or bought a condo lately?
45 years.
Oh, you.
I can't believe-
Oh, well, go buy one.
All right.
And then we can talk. No, so they all have these compacts or these contracts you have to sign.
Yeah, of course.
No smoking. Oh, they're hard on that one. No smoking in the condo area. You cannot do it.
Oh, yeah, even your
up
own
to the
condos.
senior housing, they passed no smoking ordinance. Make them smoke outside in the middle of winter and all that stuff. What's going to happen with pot?
I think it's going to be the same thing. They're not going to allow it.
You think?
Yeah, I think so.
Because
Maybe not, but
I get a tough time. They're doing everything to encourage the smoking of pot. And the potheads, now isn't it true that you try to smoke pot in a confined area so you keep the secondhand smoke right by you so you're constantly breathing that in too? No?
no, not really.
No?
That's not what my experience.
Oh, all right. Well, anywho, it's going to be interesting when someone in an apartment complex takes up smoking pot, and interesting to see how they're going to deal with that.
I think it's going to be a problem because pot has got a very pungent smell.
Oh, it's like nothing else.
It's very, very distinct, and tobacco smoke is more recognizable today because a lot less people smoked. When everybody was smoking, we probably didn't even notice it when you walked down the street.
No,
Now you would if you think
everybody smoked when I was a
went
kid.
to a ball game and somebody was
Yeah.
smoking maybe a cigar or something. It was outside, nobody cared. Now you can't do that anymore. So you're much more sensitive to these kind of things.
Yeah. And you also, when they stopped smoking into Boston Garden, to the hockey games, all of a sudden,
You could see the other
this
side.
place is bright inside.
right.
Porch pirates. One
Oh, yeah.
out of every 8 people have had something stolen off their
Did you
porch.
see what Amazon's doing? I think it's pretty cool.
I think that's a great idea.
In case you haven't seen it, go ahead.
Yeah. They're putting GPSs in phony boxes.
In phony boxes.
And when they're stolen, then they're tracking them and they're having the cops go arrest the people.
Yep.
I think that's a great idea. But that really offends me because I feel very strongly about housebreaking
Yeah, me too.
and also about people barging into homes and knocking people around trying to steal stuff. It is invading the sanctity of your home, and I look at these guys coming and stealing off your porches exactly the same way. You know what? Back in the old days, you could shoot people like
Absolutely.
that. Looters.
Not now. Now you can't in Massachusetts because we don't have a stand your ground. You're supposed to crawl out the rear window or jump down off the second floor to get away.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we get moving. Amazon today announced free shipping on all parcels that come from a Amazon warehouse.
Yep.
Not a buyout that they have to buy from another manufacturer and drop
Right,
ship.
it's
to
their
you.
own stuff.
But free shipping from their own warehouses until December 18th. And that is a dividend for all the money they made on Black Friday.
Yep.
Amazing. Let's skip a couple of these things here. India. The air in India causes 1 out of every
Another
8
garden
deaths.
spot.
Yeah. Air pollution in India is really something, folks. I don't think that...
Well, he's looking. Go ahead. It's terrible. I don't. My son has gone back and forth to China, and he says that some days you can't breathe.
yeah.
It just hurts your lungs to.
Do you know that I was amazed when my friend came back from China He was over working for the Foxborough Company over there in Shanghai operations. He said the Chinese people you think of as clean and industrious and all of that, he said they're not. He said they're dirty, unkempt, and they sit on their ankles. They just sit down and they sit on and squat, like,
squat. So
and
the
smoke
Vietnamese do that,
cigarettes
yeah.
right down to that far. Yeah. And he said, lazy too.
I got one for you,
Go ahead.
particularly ladies out there
All right.
that live and die by designer brands.
That's me.
Yeah, me too. Payless Shoe pulled a good one,
Oh boy.
a really good one. Payless Shoe, well, I've never been to a Payless Shoe, but you guys have because it's a discount shoe outlet or stores. They took another store across the street from a Payless and set it up and called it, what the heck is it? Pacy, or it's like give it a French name. They took their shoes, took some across the street, and went from $29.99 or $19.99 to $700 or $800 on them. And then they interviewed customers coming in, and they got this one woman. She says, I only buy designer shoes. Look at these. You could just see the flow and the fashion and everything. It was a $29.99 shoe from across the street. This was $699. They put a price tag on it. They sold $30-some thousand worth of shoes in a couple of days at these exorbitant prices. Then when they went, then they gave people's money back because it was just a experiment to see, are you buying this because of the name or are you buying it because
We know.
we know what you're paying for? Oh, they called the label Policy,
Oh, wonderful.
like Payless, Paylessy.
Oh,
Oh, and they just went on and on. Of course, it was California, you know.
like Target. For
Yeah,
Target.
Target, yeah.
Well, you know, last night, Bob's store up in Franklin announced they're going out of business. They're closing that store.
Okay.
So selling everything off to the bare walls. So I went up last night just to see what it was. I had bought a sweater from them. $60 list for $29.99. I got 20 off of it, and I had a $10 birthday coupon. So I paid $16 to $17 for it. And I said to myself, you know, if they've got like a yellow one or a gold one or something like that, same design, because it's a nice sweater, maybe I'll buy one, you know? They did. $60 list and a store closing sellout price of minus 15%. They jacked the prices up.
Of course.
And then said 15 off.
I've seen that happen at grocery stores. You
Amazing.
walk in, that steak today is $9.99, and then next week it's going to be 50% off. It's going to see, well, that steak was only ever $6.99. And then they jack it up because by law they got to come off a price. They can't no longer just say that price. But it's like that with everything. You got to be careful.
You know,
with,
how many times have you seen, well, I don't know, I shouldn't say this, but I've seen it happen at a flea market.
Yeah.
A guy will have something, and how much? 25 cents a piece, 3 for $1. All right, give me 3.
Yeah, I know. I was at Stop and Shop one day. They had strawberries, 99 cents a pound. And a 2-pound pack was $2.49. And I'm sitting there, and a woman, honest to God,
I love it.
a woman next to me, she's taking that 2-pound pack. I said, you know, these are 99 cents a pound. She said, oh no. She said, my family really likes strawberries. I always buy the bigger pack. She said, you get more for your money doing this. I said, no, you don't. She said, yes, you do. I said, look, add 99 cents. 99 cents is $1.98 for 2 pounds. You're paying $2.49 for 2 pounds. And she just would not accept you. I said, Monica,
I'm surprised she didn't tell you to mind your own business.
Well, Monica did. She said, what are you doing? She said, she wants to pay $10 for that box of letter.
Oh, God. All right, now I have a serious question for you. And you're going to have to make the decision on this. Lee Harvey Oswald's house, where he lived in Dallas. He rented a room.
Yeah, okay.
And this lady owns it, and she has been leading visitors through there
I'm not surprised
for
that.
$40 per person.
Yeah.
And you go into the small room where he slept. That's about it. It's a nondescript little house. So, and the bedroom features a narrow bed and an upright armoire, and that's where he kept his clothing and his handgun. That's it.
Yeah.
The 66-year-old said she's not sure how long she can work to preserve that bit of history and will likely have to sell it soon because the neighborhood, it's Dallas's Oak Cliff neighborhood, is experiencing gentrification,
Yeah.
where people are fixing up the homes and charging huge amounts of money. So I ask you this, sir. Given your druthers, by the way, the Dallas mayor was beautiful. He said a few words and said absolutely nothing.
We got 5.
Oh. But anyway, he said he advocates for historic preservation, but he'd be happy to work with them on the issue,
Yep.
the owner. So what would you do with this? I mean, I have my own feelings on this.
What would I do if I owned that house?
This whole situation. Would you get involved and try to save this house for future generations?
No.
Do you think it's important historically that we save something like this? Or would you like to see it made into a museum? I don't know. How is America best served? By having this hideous house made into a museum or have it raised?
Personally, I don't think the thing has got any value at all.
No.
It's just a house.
It's just a house, 4 walls.
Yeah, Lee Harvey Oswald happened to slept there.
Yeah.
Well, toodly-doo. You know, so what? And I think she probably saw the revenue keep going down and down because, first of all, we don't remember history. You know, you and I know who that is. Ask an 18-year-old who it is, or a 25-year-old, or a 35-year-old. They're going to, who?
Yeah.
I don't know. Does he play for the
Played
Red Sox?
left field for the Yankees,
Yeah, he
didn't
must
he?
play for the Red Sox. So, you know, the audience or anybody that really knows anything about it is going down. I think she's just going to fade away. It's not a...
No, I personally, I'm repulsed by this, and I would like to see nothing better than burn it down.
I am too, but it's not doesn't surprise me. Everybody tries to make a buck off something.
Yeah. Would you pay $40 to walk through it?
Would I pay $40 to walk through it?
I lost my head there.
I probably wouldn't go there if I was walking by it and it was free.
I don't understand this.
I don't either. It's,
You know, and we have this thing in this country. We got to preserve history, and all right, if something is historical, or if something is unique architecturally, something is beautiful architecturally, something important happened there.
that's right.
But
then we turn around and we destroy things that we should be keeping.
yeah,
There's no reason to take some of the Southern statues from the Confederacy and get rid of them. They're part of our history.
This is-
good or bad. Whatever you think it to be, it's still part of our history.
changing the name of Faneuil
Yeah,
Hall.
changing the name of Faneuil Hall, Yawkey Way.
Yawkey Way.
Come on, that's
This
ridiculous.
is so stupid.
Or this
is
preserving this damn Sitco sign.
Political correctness run amok.
Yep.
Unbelievable. I shall hear no more of Lee Harvey Oswald's house. It can go to hell for all I care.
2.
Two. Okay. Do you recall we talked about a Japanese Airlines co-pilot co-pilot
yeah,
that
wait.
showed up drunk.
Was you taking a few nips before the
Yeah.
takeoff there? Yeah.
He was
Oh,
found.
I'm sorry. That was a Freudian slip. I just
Was good,
no
though.
letters. It was good. But I didn't mean anything.
He was found to have 9 times the allowable alcohol content in his blood.
Yeah, it wasn't just a quick short beer. It was,
And the court in London gave him 10 months in jail.
I'm surprised it probably wasn't more.
Yeah. I mean, that is serious stuff. In this
Yeah.
country, in Boston, well, 30 days,
Yeah, you don't wanna ruin his life,
probation, and you know, you got a wife and a couple of kids, and oh boy. I will tell you, here's a good story. Alleged Massachusetts dealer faces life in jail for a fatal Rhode Island overdose.
Yep.
That is what they should be doing with these dealers.
Yep.
When they have people that die because of the crap they peddled them,
Yeah, when you start
right
putting
in jail.
fentanyl and stuff in that, you know
right.
damn well that stuff's deadly.
Deadly is right.
Yep.
And interesting, the stuff they use for the Narcan, for the overdoses,
Yep.
that drug is called naloxone.
Yeah.
And they kept jacking the price up on that when they found out how it worked.
Yep.
It went up to $4,000. It's now, President Trump had a chat with them. It's $181 now. Can you imagine just jacking the price of that up? Just
the dirty, whatever you want to call them, doing the same thing with insulin.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Good Lord.
See an opportunity, grab an opportunity. Man,
Milk it to what
no
all it's
conscience.
worth.
No
if
conscience
it puts somebody
whatsoever.
else's life in danger, well, so be it. It's my profit.
Yeah, exactly. Ridiculous. Well, I think we've probably
We're getting pretty
come
close.
up against the end of the show. Folks, once again, glad to see you. And thank you for tuning in.
Everybody-
Hope you enjoyed it.
Merry
And-
Christmas,
and
everybody.
Merry Christmas is right. And a happy and prosperous new year. And we're going to kick off 2019 by serving you up the same quality
Absolutely.
news and chatter as we have all along. Plus, we have a couple of surprises coming
Yep, we're-
in the new year. A couple of new twists we're going to try for shows
Let's see what happens.
and see what happens. We haven't got run out of town yet.
Close, but not quite.
Keep pushing our
right.
luck. Hey, folks, have a great one. Good night.
Okay.
Or good afternoon.